Welcome back to the Mobile Fun YouTube channel, where we bring you the latest and greatest accessories for your devices. Today, we're going to be unboxing the S21 FE. So, just like Samsung's S21 lineup, there is no power brick included in the box. There is a USB to USB-C cable, the pin for opening the SIM card tray, and also just a quick start guide. So let's get all that out of the way and have a look at the S21 FE, compare it to what the S22 lineup are most likely going to look like, and whether you should actually buy this phone. So as you can see, we got our S21 FE in the olive colour. It's also available in lavender, graphite and white. Now straight away you can see that this is based on the S21 lineup, which is definitely not a bad thing, as I really like the moulded camera bump that they had, which they introduced obviously last year. I think it looks really good and better than the S20 for sure. One thing that is a little bit different though, is that on the S21 lineup, the camera bump was actually moulded in to the rails on the side of the phone. However, this time it's just part of the back. I still think it looks really good. However, I do miss the camera bump being a little bit of a different colour than the back of the phone. Definitely not a deal breaker though, especially in this olive colour. So, now the S21 FE is all set up, you can see straight away that Samsung has been at work, as the screen on this is beautiful like most Samsung devices nowadays. It's bright, it's vivid, and I've had no issues looking at it in direct light or from different angles or anything like that. It's responsive, it's very nice and fluid. The phone itself feels very snappy and definitely like a Samsung flagship. Now, the only things that are a little bit strange about the S21 FE's release is that one, it's in 2022. Two, it's most likely only a month apart from the actual S22 lineup being released and announced. Now, if we were to compare it to the rumoured S22 Plus, which is roughly the same size as the FE, you'll notice that the phone looks pretty similar. There's not a massive difference there, so you're not going to be necessarily missing out on having the latest and greatest looking phone. The back of the phone on the S22 lineup is rumoured to be gloss rather than matte, which is on this phone. However, that's where the differences begin to start. So on the back of the S22 lineup, there's going to be glass backs rather than the plastic that you'll find on the FE. This helps bring the cost down a little bit and makes it feel a little less premium. However, when you're putting a case on, you're not going to tell the difference anyway, so to me it's not a massive deal. And if anything, it's one less thing to break or shatter. Now, you're probably not going to be buying the FE if you're looking at getting the S22 lineup of phones. However, because the S22 lineup is coming out in February, you're most likely going to see a drop in the old S21 lineup until there is no stock anymore. That means you're most likely going to be able to pick up an S21 phone for cheaper than this FE. Now, to me that's a little bit strange, as the S21 is overall a better phone. In some key areas, that little bit faster, and it is that little bit more premium as well. This is different than the S20 FE, which came out around 6 months after the S20 lineup of phones. That meant that it was considerably cheaper than the S20 lineup of phones, and we still had a good distance to go before the S21 was actually released. Now, I think Samsung wanted to release this earlier. However, they weren't able to get the chips that they needed due to the chip shortage. That means that the S21 FE's release was probably pushed back from around August to then probably November, and then probably again to January when we have actually seen the phone. That means it's just a month away from the S22 lineup coming out. So I think it's ruined the release of it. However, if you do pick one up, I think this is still a good phone. Samsung have worked really hard on their software, and overall it's a lot more responsive than it used to be, and it definitely has all the features that you need in the right places. So you're probably not going to be disappointed if you pick up an FE compared to an S21 or an S22. I hope you've enjoyed this video about the S21 FE. Make sure you like and subscribe, as we have a review of the UAG plasma case and also Spiegel's tough armor case for the S21 FE coming out soon. Thanks for watching.